You're watching Saturday Storytime, 6 March 2021 edition. Hi, welcome back to Saturday Storytime. They found this ancient dog bone specimen. It's very tiny, you see in the picture there. It could be evidence of the route that humans took to North America. This fragment of a dog femur is over 10,000 years old, found along the Alaskan coast. It's believed to be one of the oldest domesticated dog fossils in North America. This supports this coastal migration theory, which says that people from Eurasia migrated instead of traveling through an interior corridor between two melting ice sheets. They kept close to the coast of Siberia, the Bering Strait, and the Alaska coastlines along this massive Cordilleran ice sheet. This is also known as the Kelp Highway hypothesis. It's supported by geological and archaeological evidence, including 29 human footprints found on the shoreline of Calvert Island in British Columbia. This dog died about 10,000 years ago. So they traced the DNA of this sample to a Siberian breed of dogs that existed about 16,000 years ago, and this timing roughly coincides with this formation of the Cordilleran ice sheet along this North Pacific coastal route. This is an extraordinary find, an intact petrified tree, 20 million years old, on the Greek island of Lesbos. It's unique because it has its roots and branches still intact. It's nearly 20 meters tall, and it's going to help understand the region's ancient subtropical ecosystem that's 200 million years old. It's the first such discovery of a well-preserved specimen in 25 years of excavations at Lesbos Petrified Forest. They found 150 more logs. They spotted this specimen by chance as they saw a branch in the ground just before a new road was due to be laid over it. This is an extraordinary case of fossilization, tree preserved with almost all of its structures together. It is thought that the forest of Lesbos was destroyed by a huge volcanic eruption similar to that which buried Pompeii in AD 79. Fossilization took place after heavy rain mixed with volcanic ash and buried these samples in mud. I smell a lawsuit. Anyway, a doctor joins a Zoom court hearing while he's operating on a patient. This is in Sacramento, California. The Medical Board of California is looking into this instance because they expect physicians to follow a standard of care when treating their patients. The court clerk asks the plastic surgeon, "Hello, Mr. Green. Hi, are you available for trial? It kind of looks like you're in an operating room." And Dr. Green replies, "I am, sir. Yes, I'm in an operating room right now. Yes, I'm available for trial. Go right ahead." And the judge comments, "Unless I'm mistaken, I'm seeing a defendant who's in the middle of an operating room appearing to be actively engaged in providing services to a patient. Is that correct, Mr. Green?" "Yes, sir. Or should I say Dr. Green?" Mr. Green was informed that the hearing was being live streamed online because traffic hearings are required by law to be open to the public. They rescheduled the hearing, and the surgeon reportedly told NBC News, "That's not accurate. I have nothing to say. Thank you." So it appears the FAA can't explain this airline pilot's UFO sighting over New Mexico last weekend. A radio transmission from American Airlines Cincinnati to Phoenix last weekend might have been ripped straight from the X-Files. "Do you have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us," said the pilot at 1:19 p.m. Central on Sunday. "I hate to say this, but it looked like a long cylindrical object that almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing, moving really fast right over the top of us." And this was according to audio published on an aviation blog, Deep Black Horizon. The blogger accidentally picked this up using a radio scanner. It was pure coincidence. And then he uses two flight tracking websites, Flight Radar 24 and FlightAware, to determine the exact position of where the plane was over the northeast corner of New Mexico at an altitude of 37,000 feet. And he has a link to the download of this audio file on his website. The FAA released a short statement. A pilot reported seeing an object over New Mexico shortly after noon local time on Sunday, February 21, 2021. FAA air traffic controllers did not see any object in the area with their radar scopes. And this story goes on to remark about other similar occurrences, so you might want to check it out. So back on February 6th, Saturday Story Time, we talked about this flight of Inspiration 4. It's an all-civilian crew. I'd also like you to watch this one if you haven't and tell me why I've got a QAnon context banner on here. I don't even think I said a word with the letter Q in it, but that's interesting. So anyway, this Inspiration 4, the second seat has been filled by this pediatric bone cancer survivor, Haley Arsenault. She's the second crew member announced for this Inspiration 4 mission. She represents the Hope seat on this historic flight. She's also a physician assistant at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. This seat represents the hope that St. Jude's gave me and continues to give families from around the world who, like me, find hope when they walk through the doors of St. Jude. So the commander of this flight, Jared Isaacman, he's also the sponsor of this flight and the chief executive officer of Shift 4 Payments. He's donated 2 of the 4 seats aboard this historic mission to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So you can check out the other part of this story in the February 6th video as well. Anyway, congratulations to Haley Arsenault. So last Sunday, Russia launches this Arctic weather satellite. It's called Arctica M1. It's going to have this highly elliptical oval-shaped orbit ranging from 600 miles to 25,000 miles above the Earth. This elongated path around the Earth will take around 12 hours to complete one lap around the planet. It's at an inclination of about 63.3 degrees, meaning that Arctica M1 will linger above the northern hemisphere when it's farthest from the Earth. So it's going to spend a lot of time above the Arctic. So it has images to provide a view of Arctic weather patterns for multiple hours on each orbit. 2 satellites with orbits 180 degrees apart could provide around-the-clock coverage of the Arctic. It's designed to provide persistent weather data on Russia's Arctic. The Arctica M satellites will obtain color images of clouds and the Earth's surface in the Arctic. They also host radio receivers and transmitters to relay information from weather stations and search and rescue beacons in the polar regions. This is inaccessible to conventional geostationary satellites. So NASA's Parker Solar Probe surprised scientists with this wild image of Venus. You can see here this bright rim. This is the night side where oxygen atoms are recombining into molecules. This is the Wide Field Imager for Parker Solar Probe, or WISPR. It also shows Venus's biggest island region, a spot called Aphrodite Terra, right there. So they're able to determine that this camera may have a lot more infrared capability than they were expecting. We expected to see clouds, but the camera peered right through to the surface. So this could mean their WISPR camera is capable of capturing near infrared light. Maybe they can use it to study dust, not only around the sun, but within the inner solar system. So this last flyby occurred on February 20th, 2021, and it increased the Parker probe's speed to 147 kilometers per second. That's pretty fast. The European Space Agency plans this mission to explore caves on the moon. This is a great graphic. I just love this. Whoa! 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 Yeah, this is a great graphic, entering a lunar lava tube. There's hundreds of these steep-walled holes known as pits, and they could be doorways to an interior cavern on the moon. They're thought to have formed during lava flows billions of years ago, while the moon was still geologically active. So in 2019, the ESA asked for project ideas to explore these lunar caves. And one of the suggestions is to lower a probe into the pit and access the first part of the cave. This is 3 images of the Marius Hills pit on the moon from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. It appears to be 34 meters deep and 65 by 90 meters wide. It almost looks like there's something underneath there, just like this graphic shows. So ESA has proposed that their large European logistics lander will be equipped with this Daedalus probe that would be lowered into a lunar cave using the tether. And this is the University of Würzburg. It's like a glass globe with a bunch of sensors and cameras in it. Please make sure to look for the link down below in the description to my blog, where you'll find the links to all the stories we just talked about. Thank you and have a great week. Thank you for watching Shitoku Tech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.